If you or a family member has a UK visa, like a graduate, protection, or scale-up visa, then pay attention. The UK government changed the rules quietly in July 2026. Not knowing about these changes could cost you your visa, your partner's leave, or even your child's legal status here. Stay with me as I break down the 3 most important changes in UK immigration affecting families this August, translating legal jargon into plain English so you know exactly where you stand. Welcome to UK Immigration Weekly. Change number 1, and this one is genuinely life-changing for a very specific group of parents. Until recently, there was an absurd gap in the rules. If a student finished their degree and switched to a graduate visa, they might have a baby in the UK. That baby would not have a clear legal way to get status like their parents. A baby born in the UK while parents legally living and working here left in complete legal limbo. That has now been fixed. Children born in the UK while a parent has graduate permission can now apply as dependents. Permission is granted in line with the parent. Families can finally stay together without fear of falling out of status. To be clear, this does not open the door to anyone from overseas. It only covers children born in the UK while a parent has their graduate permission. But if that applies to you or to someone you know, this is genuinely life-changing news. And if your baby was born here and you have not yet sorted their status, please speak to a solicitor as soon as possible. The longer you leave it, the more complicated it can get. Change number 2, and this one affects partners of people on protection status. To provide some context, since March 2026, individuals in the UK who receive refugee or humanitarian protection are granted status for 30 months, which is 2.5 years. Previously, a partner in the UK on a family visa could sometimes be granted leave that lasted longer than the remaining time of their sponsor's 30-month grant. The Home Office identified this misalignment as a systemic risk because it could result in situations where a sponsor's status expired or was denied, but their partner could still remain legally in the country. Here's what has changed. Moving forward, a partner with leave under Appendix FM will only be granted a duration that matches the remaining time of their sponsor's 30-month grant. For example, if your sponsor has 14 months left on their protection status, you will also receive 14 months of leave. Your status is now directly linked to that of your sponsor. Why does this matter? Because if you are a partner on this route, you need to keep very close track of when your sponsor's status is due for renewal. If they apply to renew and it is delayed or refused, you need to know exactly where that leaves you. Have a solicitor review your case before the renewal window opens. It could save you a great deal of stress and potentially your right to stay in the United Kingdom. Change number 3 is the one that will most likely catch people off guard. In UK immigration rules, a custodial sentence of 12 months or more is a significant red flag. It can lead to your visa being refused or cancelled, or your electronic travel authorization being rejected. However, what many people do not realise is that the UK government has now extended this rule to include suspended sentences as well. A suspended sentence means that the court imposes a prison term but delays its enforcement. You must meet specific conditions to keep the sentence on hold, allowing you to remain in the community without serving prison time. Many individuals mistakenly believe that since they did not actually go to jail, immigration will not be concerned about their situation. That assumption is now wrong. Under the new rules, a suspended sentence of 12 months or more is a clear reason to deny or cancel an ETA. It can trigger refusal of entry clearance or permission to stay. For deportation considerations, it applies to convictions on or after the 22nd of March 2026. Such a sentence also automatically disqualifies individuals from acting as a listed carer for a child student. If you or a family member has a criminal record, whether in the UK or elsewhere, please seek legal advice before you travel or apply for immigration permission. Do not assume your case is straightforward. One more change, and this one matters to working parents on the scale-up route. If you have a scale-up visa, you must meet an earnings requirement. This requirement is important for your settlement eligibility. Previously, taking time off for neonatal care if your baby was in the hospital after birth could count against you. From July 2024, neonatal leave is now treated as an allowable absence. It will not affect your earnings calculation. This brings the scale-up route in line with the skilled worker route, and it is a genuinely important protection for new parents in high-skilled roles. So, what should you actually do with all of this? First, if you're on the graduate route, contact an immigration solicitor. If you have a UK-born child without legal status, do it today. Do not wait. Second, if your partner's visa is linked to your protection status, get a case review. Do this before the 30-month period ends. Know your dates, know your options. Third, if you or a family member has a criminal conviction, even a suspended sentence, get legal help. Do this before you travel or apply for immigration. And fourth, if you're on the scale-up route and just had a baby or taken neonatal leave, tell your solicitor when preparing for settlement. These changes have serious consequences for families. The UK immigration rules are complex and they change often, which is exactly why having the right legal team in your corner matters.
If anything in this video affects you, click the link in the description to book a free 15-minute chat with our team at Reese Edwards Solicitors. We are here to help. Subscribe so you never miss an update. See you next week.